Today, everyone, we are interviewing, we are talking to CEO Ernesto Lee. He is the CEO, the creator of a learning voyage, which is a very, very interesting topic, as I mentioned it to you earlier. He is definitely one of the creator. It is nowadays is very, very important to find out what do we do? Do we go to college? Do we study online? And the job of that is the job of the future. Who would increase in being in the technical sector. Employers continue to invest in education and training, but ironically, only training to assist in your current job. It is by becoming more and more important. So let's welcome to the show with a wonderful, wonderful round of applause, Ernesto Lee. Hello, hello, Ernesto, and welcome to the LizyT Radio Show. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing very well. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
It is my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So, Ernesto, before we start talking about the nitty gritty, I want to be able to have our listeners give to know the person. Ernesto, the person, is he married? Does he have kids? Single? How did what do you like to drink? That's one of my fun questions.
Uh, Great question, Lizzie. I have a beautiful wife, Kimberly. We have three wonderful children. I have a 19-year-old son in college. I have an 8-year-old daughter who's the light of my life, and I have a 4-year-old son. And just some random trivia. My oldest son, was born midnight on Halloween. My daughter was born 8 a.m. On Christmas Day, and my son was born on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, which is a holiday in the U.S.
Wow, that is awesome. How did you manage all that? I mean, was it a request to the Almighty and above, or was it a complete coincidence?
Complete coincidence. In fact, we had to, after my youngest was born on the holiday, we decided that we were running out of holidays, so that's when we decided no more kids. 3 is enough.
And I'm sure it's definitely a good number. Good number. So let's talk about your business. You are the creator of a learning voyage. Now, entrepreneurship, is that part of your life? Were you always interested in creating something different, something unique? Or is this is something that kind of fell in your laps and you had the opportunity and you kind of run with it and said, let's go with this because this is the future? How did that all happen?
I was going to say probably a little bit of both. I've always had an entrepreneurial streak, and I've been involved with several companies. Most of them have been successful, but that's part of the process when you're an entrepreneur. You learn as much from failure as you do from your successes.
Right.
But recently, we saw a massive, massive gap in how the next generation workforce was being trained. And so we saw that opportunity, and we saw that there was not really a lot of viable options. We decided to found learningvoyage.com. And so that's when we all doubled down and put all of our efforts into, I mean, when you run a business, your business is there to serve. So we wanted to serve our students and give them something unique that they can take with them for the rest of their lives.
Wonderful. So, Learning Voyage. This is this is your creation. This is your business, your school. How long have you been basically? How long have this been going on?
Sure. So, Learning Voyage, we've been running Learning Voyage since 1999. We had recently had a reboot last year where we doubled down and really focused on skills that were in high demand, where in the U.S. there's at least a shortage of 10,000 jobs, 10,001 jobs where they're looking for workers in these very, very high-tech fields. We
Mm-hmm.
realized that just with a little bit of training, there's a lot of qualified people that could take advantage of these jobs. Most of them are high-paying jobs, $100,000 a year and
Wow.
above.
So how do you see the next 10 year? What is in the future? Because I do have kids on my own, and one in 2 more years, my oldest one will be going to college, and this is one of the discussions that I think all of us millennials, which are Generation X, is debating. Do we do, unless obviously they want to become a doctor or lawyer, even that is kind of changing. However, if you are looking into the computer science or even technology, what would you say that are the career in the next 10 years when it comes to technology,
That,
obviously?
sure. That's a great question. And here's the thing: that technology has been disruptive to so many different industries, traditional industries that really had nothing to do with technology. Nowadays, you can't even talk about medicine without talking about technology and how disruptive
It's true.
technology has been in medicine. And there's education. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so, if you look at virtually any study that does a forecast on the next 10 years, they project that the world is going to lose over a billion jobs with a B, with over 100 million plus of those jobs being lost in the US and Canada, over 100 plus million jobs being lost due to automation in the EU and the UK. And the world's just getting smaller, right? Like I said, the root cause of that job loss is automation across multiple industries, not just in the technology industry, even though the technology industry is going to suffer job loss too for people that haven't really kept their skills up. And so what I have seen and what the research seems to back up is that the jobs are becoming increasingly focused on knowledge. We're probably the first or second generation that's getting paid for what we knew. Before you got paid for what you could do, and now you're starting to see this huge shift in getting paid for what you know, your knowledge. I remember my mother told me that people will pay you for what you do, or they'll pay you for what you think. And the very first time somebody asks you what you think, that's when you double your rate or you ask for a promotion. And so that's what we're looking for. Is we're looking to train thinkers.
That is incredible. And for you to be talking about like this, I mean, it sounds very futuristic, but unfortunately, that is the way of the future. Our Generation X, they need to kind of change or we have to accommodate or understand the new way of learning. Now, Learning Voyage, it is a learning system, online system. One of the things that I personally have a lot of difficulties with is, and not everybody is the same, I find that my kids, my generation, have a lot more affinity and it's a lot easier for them to learn online. So it is this type of learning that most of us are going to have to adapt to kind of stop going to a classroom and start learning online. What do you do when somebody has difficulty doing their learning online?
Well, we have multiple modalities. And so we have what we call training on demand. And those are for students that can get access to the course and go through. And when they have a question, they reach out to us and we, respond with questions. We, go into the lab environment and help them with the labs. But we also noticed that not everybody learns the same way. And so we offer remote training opportunities, which is just like a classroom, except everybody is connecting over technology, over a WebEx or something similar to WebEx. And then it's a little more of a traditional format where we'll do the presentation, we will demonstrate the labs and the concepts, and then we'll leave it to them to complete labs on their own, and we kind of help them along the way. Finally, we also have in-person training as well. And so we get just about every week we go to a different Fortune 500 company and we're training their people internally. So we know that there's demand in the courses and the technology, but we also offer in-person training to the public as well at different locations across the world. And so we try to accommodate the different learning styles because, as you mentioned, not everybody learns the same. Some people are visual, some people are auditory. We try to incorporate as many videos, as many explainer videos. We try to have not just a slide full of text, but we also talk over the slide so you have context. And we found that it really helps people absorb. We do pre and post exams just so we can kind of measure knowledge growth. And we've seen that, the first thing is to get people in the right modality of training. And we've experienced a tremendous amount of success, as evidenced by the fact that most of the people that finish our curriculum go on and get high-paying jobs in the technology industry.
Wonderful. So for people that are listening to us right now, and obviously they will be going to our social media pages and website, what type of courses in particular or technical techniques I'm looking at your website, and what are the courses that you are offering right now?
Sure. So there's 5 different categories of courses, and each one of them, there's massive demand. There are what we call big data courses. And if you think about it, within the last 10 years, the amount of data that we can capture has grown tremendously, probably the last 15 years. And so now there's a lot of demand for companies to be able to manage these massive amounts of data. We call it throwaway data, data that companies used to throw away. Now, everything that you do, if you think about it, everything that you do is recorded and it's sent off to some database somewhere. So there's a whole field called big data. After big data, these companies start to realize that they can take all of this massive amounts of data and they can analyze it. That's where the artificial intelligence and machine learning and deep learning, that's another branch of courses that we offer, is in artificial intelligence, how to take large amounts of data and then how to create intelligent predictions out of that. How to look at a picture and determine if it's a cat or a dog, or how to identify a face in the picture and determine if it's smiling, and on and on and on. There's a million use cases there. We also have what's called blockchain. If you ever heard of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, we train the underlying technology underneath that. That's been extremely popular. It's brand new. And the technology. We don't go into the financial side of it because we do technology training, but we show people how to build those blockchains so that they can create their own assets. And we have this other technology called microservices. And finally, we cover IT security. All 5 of those areas, if you have expertise in any one of those 5 areas, then you'll be in very high demand.
Wonderful. So when people go to your website, and I will share that information with you guys in just a second, when people go on the website and they sign up, I assume the way of signing up and paying for the courses are pretty simple, very straightforward. And again, if somebody has any question, they can always contact you or have somebody that they can chat with them online.
Of course.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have a 24/7 chat feature that's available. Anybody can come on at any time and ask any questions. And we have a policy where everybody gets a response within 2 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty fast. That's very fast. Now, for the investment that everybody will be investing, what would you say the guarantees are? Can you guarantee that people or your students would actually get the job that they're looking for? Obviously, there is no such a thing as 100% guarantee. However, is this something? How do you qualify it, or how you guarantee that what they're learning exactly is going to land that particular placement?
Sure. So there's a couple of things that we do. So as you mentioned, we cannot make a 100% guarantee, and I'll state that emphatically because there's so many variables that go into play. But what we can do is We encourage people to go out before they even sign up for anything in our curriculum to go out to our respected job sites like Monster.com or Indeed.com or Dice.com and just put in the technology that they want to study. And what you'll see is that in any one of those that I've mentioned, there are numerous $100,000 a year jobs that are going unfilled. So that's kind of actually how we looked at it and decided what we wanted to offer, because we only wanted to offer courses that were relevant. We've partnered with companies that are consulting companies. MidSys is one of them. And MidSys, they're constantly on the lookout. There's several others, but there's just one, for example. They're constantly fielding calls from business in the U.S. for individuals with the skills that we're training on. And so today, we're undefeated, I like to say. We've been able to place every student that's gone through, but in most cases, the students are able to find jobs on their own just because there's so much demand.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that very detailed explanation. So for people that are listening to us right now, and they're probably wondering, what should I pay? What should I invest? And one of the answers that even my own kids have for me: why should I go to school and learn this when I can get it from the internet? Internet has all the answers, and then it knows everything. So what is the difference from people actually going on the internet and learning those skills, and then or signing up on a learning voyage?
Sure. That's a great question. We get asked that question a lot. In fact, I encourage people to go to Udemy and lynda.com and some of those other platforms. And what you'll see a lot of times is, one, not all information is equal. On the internet, the problem is there's nobody there to tell you what's information and what's misinformation. That's probably the biggest thing. I like to think of it as if my dog got on my keyboard and randomly hit some keys. Nobody would know that it's my dog at the other end of that keyboard, right? So we don't know information from misinformation. But quality, I would say, is really the main differentiator. And even a lot of the courses that we have, we encourage people to do a search and try to find it. In a lot of cases, these bleeding edge technologies you can't find tutorials and things like that on the internet. Lastly, as I mentioned earlier, we go to a different Fortune 500 company every week, multiple usually. We do business training employees at state governments and the federal government, the IRS, and Housing and Urban Development, for instance, in the U.S. And so these companies, we believe, give us a high measure of credibility that you won't just find with a random search on the internet. And the same training that we offer governments, we've been out we were in Israel last month, and we've been out to Dubai and Singapore and Japan. And so the same training that we offer these big companies and governments, because they're looking at future-facing technologies, we offer our students internally. And there's not a lot of people that can say that.
Wonderful. And actually, you gave me a perfect segue for my next question. People that are in Canada or in different parts of the world, they're also able to learn from learningvoyage.com. So there is no impediment in order for them to get the skills that they need and land that dream position or advance on that position that they're looking for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We did not want to be an American company. We're based in the U.S. We wanted to leverage the internet. The internet has no boundaries, and so we absolutely have a worldwide presence.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Ernesto, I want you to share with the world where can people find you if you have social media presence, obviously your website, and obviously how can people reach you if they have more questions or even more comments. You have an opportunity, everyone, to call us in. If you do we still have a couple of minutes left on the show, and our number to call us in is 215-3 215-383-5705. I will say it again, 215-383-5705. We are on social media, Facebook/LizyT Radio. There is a link right now. This show is recorded. So if you just tuned in and you're wondering who does Lizzy has on the show today, we are talking to CEO creator of Learning Voyage. And Ernesto Lee has an amazing company. If you are perhaps on the fence and you're wondering, I don't know if it's for me, how about you give him a call, or how about you send him a quick note? Ernesto, I will cut for a couple of words of my sponsor, and I'll be right back for you to share the information with my audience.
Hi, I'm Natasha Birchmohan, and I'm reaching out to every hardworking Canadian. The average Canadian spends most of their lifetime paying off their mortgage. What if you can have your mortgage work for you? More time for you, more time for your family, more money in your bank account. Contact Natasha Birchmohan and team, mortgage broker and qualified experts to help guide you towards financial freedom today. Visit us at bridgemoregroup.com or contact us at 1-866-553-7467, or just Google Natasha Bridgemohan at Mortgage Intelligence.
LizyT Radio Show is sponsored by NatureNova.ca, where dreams, memories, imagination, and discovery soar. Nature Nova is all about wildlife adventure, outdoor discovery, nature interpretation, and image originality. Nature Nova offers dynamic nature programs and presentations for schools, museums, libraries, nature centers, and special interest groups of all kinds. Be sure to visit naturenova.ca and book your special program or presentation today.
Canadian show, North American radio show.
Hello,
and
everyone.
now,
I am back. And I am here live. Today is Thursday, almost Friday for you that is looking forward to this wonderful weekend. And is our regular time is about 7:30 Toronto time, and we are speaking right now live with a CEO, Ernesto Lee, creator of Learning Voyage. We still have a couple of minutes if you would like to call us in to interact with us and ask us questions, comment, or even to say hello. I know it's nice today, and you probably are enjoying a bit of the weather that is, well, it kind of rainy, a little bit rainy, but not too bad. I mean, we had a very tough winter, so any good weather we definitely enjoy here in Canada. So you can call us in, or you can fill your comments on our social media, Facebook/LizyT Radio, Instagram, The LizyT Show, Twitter, and obviously this show later on will be on our YouTube channel as well. So I asked him, Ernesto, a question. People are probably really curious to find out where can they go, how can they sign up, are the prices, Ernesto, on each course is outlined, or there are some of them that varied, and they have to kind of send you an application form, and then payments, I assume, are with credit card and PayPal?
Yes, there's multiple free courses that I encourage people to take a free course. You can register right on the site, as you mentioned. I encourage people to take a free course to make sure that it's for you. And once you have decided that you want to move forward, I always encourage people to meet with one of our specialists and develop a custom learning plan specifically to each student, so we know what your goals are and we can tailor training specifically for you. And the end result for us is that, we want to make sure our students leave and have a high-paying job where they can take care of their family and be future-proofed. So that's kind of how we work.
Beautiful. So, if you don't mind sharing with the our audience, where can they reach you? There's several places. So, laid it out for us.
Sounds good. That was the question. um, you can find us at learningvoyage.com, Learning, voyage, VOYAGE.com. Right there on the site, there's a chat feature, and you can hit chat and you can reach us at any time there. You can request to speak to me. I'm almost always available. You can also reach us on Instagram, and it'll be at ernesto.dot.net, at ernesto.net. And that's how you can reach us on our social platform. But most people will go directly to the site and use the chat feature. And we also have social media links right off the site, as well as our contact information there as well, our contact phone number.
Perfect. Perfect. Ernesto, I can't believe half an hour has gone by so quickly. Time flies here at the LizyT Show, and we kind of need to move into the next segment of our show. I want to thank you so much for coming in and explaining to us that our future is in a good sense changing, and people kind of have to change and adapt to all the changes. And good for you for having this platform for all of us, for people that are very good learning online and getting new skill without having to, break the buck and also, or break the bank rather, and also locate to a place that is far, that they have to commute and all that hustle and all that annoyances sometimes. And I want to thank you for sharing that with us, sharing it with the world, sharing it with our friends here in Canada, because this is the future. And if you don't embrace it, sometimes you are missing a placement or a job advancement just because you don't have that skill that is necessary, and it could be significant to your income. As he mentioned earlier, there are paying jobs that 70, 80, 100,000 a year, which is basically what a household needs nowadays in order to sustain themselves. So thank you so much for that. Any last word?
No, I just wanted to say thank you, Lizzie, for having me on your show. It's been an honor.
And the honor and pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much. All the best, and have a fantastic weekend.
You too, Lizzie. Thank you.
And that was Ernesto Lee, the CEO of Learning Voyage, learningvoyage.com. It is the website. Check it out, everyone. If you mention that you have listened him via the LizyT Show, hey, my job is done. I'm complete. And this is the reason, one of the reasons that I do this show. So moving on, everyone, we're going to our music section. We had a lady that we interviewed yesterday.